Good morning, it's Myra again from Boutique Paint. We're doing day 2 of Valentine's Day ideas. And yesterday I did a pillow and I used the inside of this heart to stamp it. Actually, this is the one and it turned out so pretty. That's not what the pillow looks like. But so today we're using the cutout part to stamp on this burlap bag. Stamping on burlap is a little tricky, and the reason being is, and I'm taking tape, double-sided, and just kind of putting it on the back side to hold it in place so we won't have movement. The reason why it's tricky is because it's not tight weave, and so what makes it tricky then is what you use to stamp, which stamps you choose to stamp on this. You want something that's clear and not super detailed, because it doesn't show up quite as well. But that being said, I'm going to use the Kindest Regards stamp for the main part, and then the rose stamp, and I'm at a loss for which what the name of this is. Rose Toil? Is that the old one or the new one? Anyway, either one would work. So I'm going to stamp the main thing in black, and then I'm going to go in around it with the rose stamp and stamp with the pink that I made up. And this is half tomato and half the mixing white that I put on a stamp pad. We're going to start out with the black. Basically, I just, if you didn't see the pillow video, I just got a heart, cut it out. I did do a sample one to see, so I'd know exactly what I wanted it to look like. I'm really trying to ink this up good, better than I probably normally would, because of the burlap. So I cut it out, and I'm keeping both sides of the heart, the inside and the outside, for doing these projects. I'm going to kind of center this on the paper so I don't get any extra that I don't want. On the overflow here. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that there was enough ink on that, because sometimes you go in this stamp and it doesn't come out quite maybe as dark as you want it. So if you have an opportunity to test, it's always a good idea. See how much stamp you have on your stamp pad, how much ink you have on your stamp pad. And I'm just going to curl this back. See, it's very light. It's not really coming out as dark as I would like it. So I may re-ink. So I'm going to go grab my very inked up stamp pad, which is in my house, and re-ink this. Okay, I'm back, and I re-stamped this, and I realized too, I should have used black. Whenever you're stamping on a color, it's easier if you use a darker color, like black, and this is the stone gray, so it wasn't showing up quite as well as I wanted it to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mixed color. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I think I want it kind of like that, so I'm going to do that side. Also, when you're stamping, this has got a lip around it, so you want to really be pushing into the stamp, especially around the edge of this. You wouldn't think that just cardstock would keep the stamp from doing its impression, but it sometimes can. So just push really hard around the edges, and then also take in mind anything that might be underneath your surface that you're stamping, that it might be keeping the impression from hitting the fabric. Okay, so I'm hoping that this will come out adorable with the rose. Like I said, I like when I'm using a more open weave to use something that's got bigger detail. I'm just going to go around the edges. If your stamp looks like it's going to go off the edge and you have ink, just kind of hold up your edge so it doesn't go onto the fabric on the other side, or you can mask it with a piece of paper. And you can see it's not showing up quite as much as I would like to have to be showing up. We'll see once we get the masking off. Let's see what it looks like. I'm making a mess and I'm not even realizing it. And the last one. All right, let's see what this looks like. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. And there you go. Like I said, if you were to use something a little bit more open, it would probably show up better. Or you could just use the rose all the way around it without the writing in the center. It would probably show up better too. Or just a different type of bag. A canvas bag would work beautifully for this. This is what I happen to have on hand, so this is what I stamped on. Anyway, thank you for joining me. If you have any questions about any of our products, you can go to our website at www.boutiquepaint.com. Thanks. Bye.